Hi, folks. Welcome to Crisco's Corner.
Hi, folks. Welcome back. And those of you that are new, welcome. Going to be a couple of stories here, one from Timcast, one from the Daily Mail concerning the train derailment with all the extremely toxic chemicals that were in it. And then I have a short video as well as it was put on fire to burn off the chemicals on purpose. And I got a video of that, so look forward to that coming up. Let's go with Timcast first. Biden administration says air near derailed train and controlled chemical burn is safe amid concerns of water contamination. The Ohio Department of Natural Resources reports that 3,500 fish in the area have died since the derailment. Oh, okay. The federal government has declared the air at the site of the derailed train carrying the chemicals safe following a controlled burn and mounting concerns about the long-term effects of the incident. Of course. Photos of half a mile of the burning train wrecks followed by images of a towering pillar of dark smoke over East Palestine, Ohio, circulated online. The train operator and government officials worked to respond after 50 of the 150-car train came off the tracks February 3rd. At least 10 of the derailed cars were transporting vinyl chloride, while others were packed with ethanol glycol monobutyl ether or whatever. I can't pronounce any of that. So we have to ask ourselves, these chemicals are so deadly. You have to transport them somewhere from where they're made to where they're going. What are these chemicals used for? My understanding is some of the gas and the chemicals were developed in World War I. Consider the derailed cars transporting hazardous material may explode and send shrapnel flying. Norfolk Southern ultimately held a controlled burn on February 6th, days after area residents were to evacuate. What was it? I'm not sure how many miles, 10-mile radius? That's a long ways. U.S. EPA continues to conduct air monitoring throughout the East Palestine community. Now, let's take a look at the video of the fire, the controlled burn itself. Now let's look at a story from the Daily Mail. Ohio residents hit by wave of sickness after train carrying toxic chemicals exploded and engulfed surrounding neighborhood in black smoke. Then it shows the list of the gases released. When burned, it releases phosgen, which can cause vomiting. Residents have complained about headaches, nausea, and feeling terrible. Health concerns for Ohio residents are growing after a train carrying toxic chemicals crashed and engulfed surrounding neighborhoods in black smoke. Now, remember, the EPA said it was safe. East Palestine resident Melissa Henry told the AP her youngest son's eyes turned red as tomato as he was coughing a lot before the family evacuated to her parents' house outside the evacuation zone. Another resident, North Lima, roughly 10 miles from the train derailment, had her 6 chickens die days after the chemical fire started. Now, I saw a picture of somebody that had chickens, and it shows brown eggs the day before the train, and then it shows the eggs after. And the eggs went from brown to almost white on the same chickens. Something's going on. A registered fox keeper who lives outside the evacuation perimeter told WKBN all his foxes were ill and one had died. Dead fish are also spotted in waterways around the scene after the incident. And there's a picture, overhead picture there. Death possible, injury possible. Looks like the wind is going southwest. My understanding, this is just west of Pittsburgh. 50 Norfolk Southern Railroad freight cars carrying the toxic materials. And then we'll go through here and you see some pictures. And there's a distant picture of the fire. You saw the close-up picture. And it just shows the train itself. I mean, look at this mess. It's incredible. I mean, I'm not trying to be a jerk here or anything, but if these chemicals are that toxic, how could it possibly, they said it was a broken axle. I don't get it. I really don't. And of course, you don't want these things going around on trucks, so that's the only way to transport it. But it's got, so what do we get from the transportation secretary, Pete Buttigieg? He's complaining that too many white people are on construction crews. Yeah, okay, Pete. A controlled release of the cancer-causing chemicals was done by the railroad company on Monday to avert a possible explosion. Hundreds of East Palestine residents were evacuated from their homes. It has emerged that 3 other dangerous chemicals, and it lists them all there, were also in the rail cars, according to a letter sent from the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency to Norfolk Southern. Vinyl chloride is highly toxic man-made gas, which can increase the risk of multiple cancers. Oh, joy. So that means then class action suits 5, 10, 15 years from now, and how are you going to prove it? The most likely way it'll enter somebody's body is by breathing it in, but it could also be ingested via contaminated drinking water. So you're in that community. I don't care if you're 20 miles away. You're going to want to, you got well water? You got municipal water? I used to be a city councilman. Municipal water is expensive. They're going to test it all the time. This is a nightmare. The chemical travels through the body and the blood and the livers. It will break it down into other chemicals, some of which can cause more damage than the vinyl chloride itself. Breathing high levels of the gas can make you dizzy, give you a headache, but it can be deadly. And there's a picture there of the fire. Fire's residents to get a record of how you were when the health stands. Yeah, everybody's going to record every movement they do for the next 20 years. It's amazing. And it shows a video here. When breathed in over many years, it can cause liver and nerve damage and leave people with a weakened immune system. Oh, great. So they die of something else? I'm just going to breeze through the rest of this article. You can read it if you want to. This is ridiculous. A resident on TikTok said, I have literally 10 minutes from this, and last night the smell was so bad at home, we had to leave. I feel terrible today. These Palestine police have warned that drinking water may be at risk for some residents. A task group will be knocking on doors for those they believe have risk water wells. The Ohio EPA has sampled nearby rivers to determine whether there have been any water contamination and is waiting the results. 3 days later, you're still waiting for results? Seriously? I mean, I worked in government as a councilman in upstate New York, and it was slow, but the EPA, they have 2 speeds, off and slow. So there you are, folks. Read it and weep. I mean, there's railroad tracks that go, huge amounts of railroad tracks that are literally about a quarter mile from my house, half a mile. I don't know. And of course, you're never going to be notified when these dangerous chemicals are coming through. It's because you don't want people to know in case there's saboteurs. So, I mean, this is endless. So what do we worry about from the transportation secretary? There's too many white people on construction crews. Do we get the government you deserve? I don't know. Sometimes I say yes, sometimes I say no. But, I hate to pound on this, and I hate to go after people for their choices. But those of you that voted for Joe Biden, this is what you voted for. Take note next time you vote for president. Until the next time, goodbye and good luck.